So yeah, this is what's coming in towards the harbor.
Holy shit!
Man, where is Johnny Depp when you need him?
Hold on. For some reason, it does not want to show the image for me. But I think I know why.
Is it just me, or does this ship seem really, really narrow for being that long?
Kinda. Might be just with the perspective. Then again...
There we go.
It might be, but it really just seems so narrow.
Yeah, I forget. I'd wager that the guy just messed up on the perspective.
Yeah, I need to ask. The front of the ship, the one heading for the actual harbor, it's called a keel, right? Well, whatever. Yeah, I can sort of see what Givernia means, and also the way it actually looks in the front. It looks as if part of the lower part of the ship is actually meant to, slash its way into stuff or something like that.
Prague unsheathes his sword and rushes...
May I say something?
Yes.
Some ships were actually constructed for that purpose. Ramming. Also, yeah, I agree with you, Cobra. I'm also getting a Black Pearl / Flying Dutchman vibe from this ship.
Prague unsheathes his sword and rushes after Lancer. Outside the door you see a circular stone staircase which leads up to the roof and down to the base of the watchtower. Lancer descends the stairs but Prague does not follow. Instead he begins to climb the steps to the roof. Do you wish to follow Captain Lancer or Captain Prague?
Well, you will have to decide that because I cannot decide.
Let's follow Prague, just for the moment at least.
Givernia?
Yeah, sure, let's just follow him around a bit.
You race up the treacherously frosty steps which leads you to the open watchtower roof. There you find Prague hurriedly loading a pantard, a heavy iron crossbow which is mounted on a rotating platform. Once again the freezing air is filled with cries of fear and chaos. Drowned by these frightful sounds, you run to the stone parapet and look down to see the great black ship come shuddering to a halt beside the harbour wall. Instantly, a horde of undead warriors leap onto the quasi and rush off in pursuit of the routing Lentians. Their eyes burn with an unnatural fire, and they howl like demons as mercilessly they hunt down their human prey. Prague has now loaded the pantard and it calls on you to act as gunner. You are obliged by taking hold of the firing mechanism and swiveling the weapon around in search of your first target. Two springs readily to view: the mass of undead that are swarming ashore, or a glowing glassy sphere which is mounted on a plinth beside the ship's wheelhouse. And there's a picture of that thing. So, yeah.
Oh, dearie. I wish he would stop that zooming about. It looks really, really weird.
Yeah.
I wonder what will happen if we shoot that thing. Let's find out!
Also, I can't see how he has zoomed in. It looks exactly the same outside and inside of the scope thing.
Well, this time it's because he's not zooming, he's just using the pantard scope.
Oh.
So, do you wish to fire the undead horde or the glowing sphere?
Glowing sphere, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say the sphere. Firing at the horde sounds pretty stupid. I mean, for fuck's sake, they're skeletons. You'll just pass straight through them.
You swivel the pantard around and pull the firing lever. The heavy iron bolt screeches through the air towards the great glass sphere. However, moments before impact, the target is suddenly blocked by a host of undead warriors that come surging out of the wheelhouse. The bolt rips through the densely packed ranks, shattering more than a dozen skeletal bodies, but in so doing it is deflected from its chosen target. The sphere survives intact. Before Prague can reload the pantard, a shimmering metallic plate rises up from out of the decking and blocks the sphere from your sight. It's no good, you shout to Prague. We'll need more than a pantard to repel this dark tide. Look there, Grandmaster, retorts Prague. He's pointing to the Lentian ice boat, and his face is blanched with shock. The invading undead have begun to swarm aboard the vessel, and it's clear by their actions that they intend to destroy and sink it. Stay here, Prague, and cover me with this pantard, you cry as you turn and run for the steps. They must be stopped! You hurry down the steps to the base of the watchtower and sprint along a slate-cobbled avenue which leads directly to the harbour. As you run, you see Captain Lancer with some of his garrison troops engaging fierce hand-to-hand combat against a maniacal horde of skeletal warriors. The fighting is blocking the road which leads down to the quay, so you slip into an adjoining alley in the hope of finding another route to the iceboat. You emerge from the alley and turn towards the harbour, only to find yourself confronted by a howling mass of fiery-eyed skeletons. You barely manage to unsheath your weapon in time to defend yourself from their crazed attack. And there's a picture of them.
Of course there is.
So yeah, these guys are kind of blocking the way.
Well, let's remove them then.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I concur. Let us try and be rid of them.
Right, you're fighting the Ixian Undead. And they're immune to psychic attacks, except Kite Surge and Kite Blast.
Makes sense, since, you know, they're dead.
Yeah, so that means once your combat skill, once you remove the bonus from your Magna Kite Surge thingy, I can't remember what it's called, Psy Blast or something like that.
Hold on, let me see. Psy Surge, you say, then our combat skill is down to 45.
Okay. Well then, start the battle. Give an ear, roll the die.
Alrighty. Just a moment. What is it? That was first. Rolling. 4.
Right. You launch and tear into the mass of undead warriors, slicing a great deal of them. They surge forward, attacking you from all sides, stabbing and slashing. You lose 3 endurance points.
Roll the die again.
But of course.
Indeed.
4 again.
Right. You keep wielding your mighty blade, swinging it around, carving skeleton after skeleton to pieces, bones and splinters flying left and right as you fell the mighty horde. But as you do so, you cannot block every attack all the time as they come from all angles. You lose another 3 endurance points.
Rolling. 10.
Okay, with a final mighty swing of your sword that sends a golden radiant wave of sacred energy flying in all directions, you blast the horde to pieces, sending blackened bones raining down all over the city. Much to the confusion of people who did not see where the hell that came from.
And I will be adding the 3 minus damage we took just before, because apparently my program has decided to be a dick, but I will rectify that as soon as possible.
As you strike down the last of your skeletal foes, you hear Captain Lancer's stirring battle cry ring out above the noise of the fighting. Valencia and the House of Sarnak! Despite the odds, he and his men have beaten back the enemy and are now within a stone's throw of the quay. You rush to the end of the street and join them at a small flagstone square close to the harbour wall. Captain, we must save the iceboat, you shout, pointing to the ship which is being attacked by the skeleton horde. Indeed we must, he replies dourly. He orders a handful of his men to form a protective wall around you, and the moment their shields lock together, you move with them towards the iceboat. 20 yards from the quayside, you break away from the wall and sprint towards the ship's gangplank. You're halfway along the plank when you find yourself confronted by a wedge of skeletal warriors, armed with crude axes and swords. You leap into their midst, striking them down with blurring speed and deadly accuracy. But as the last one falls, a corpse-like body almost severed at the waist. You hear a noise behind you, which makes you spin around with fearful anticipation. Standing on the quayside, close to the gangplank, is a ghastly creature which exudes the clawing stench of death and decay. It towers over you by more than an arm's length, and its long, spindly limbs are covered with grey-white fur. From its skull face bulge 3 milky white eyes, set above a lipless maw, edged with dozens of barbed fangs. In its claw-like hand, it clutches what appears to be a stalactite. It raises this icy rod, and a bolt of cold orange fire leaps from its tip, and it comes crackling towards your chest. Huh.
Is there a picture of this sucker?
Not yet. You grasp the hilt of the sun sword with both hands and turn the flat of its golden blade towards the onrushing bolt of energy. There's a loud crack and you feel a numbing jolt run the length of your arms as the crackling bolt is deflected away. It hits the surface of the sea, close to the harbour wall, and instantly the patch of briny water freezes over. The ghastly creature shrieks with fury and frustration. It comes lumbering down the gangplank, wielding its icy rod like a sword. Calmly you raise the somersault and steel yourself to receive its unnerving attack.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it swing its icy rod around.
But you know what would actually be hilarious? If we used the Summersword like a baseball bat and sent the spell right back in its face.
In any case, do you wish to attack the creature the moment it steps aboard the ice boat, or do you wish to attempt to sever the gangplank before the creature can come aboard?
That is a question now, is it not?
If you try to separate, they'll just fire at us again. Who knows? Maybe it'll actually do some damage to the ship. I mean, I know it's an ice boat, but still.
Yeah, but basically attack it as soon as possible, I would say.
And you agree, Warlord?
Yes.
Right. And yeah, there's a picture of the thing. I had to go. There's apparently different. You can apparently battle it under different circumstances here, but I found a picture of it. So just a moment. I think you might like it. Behold your foe.
What? What exactly are we? Okay, can I say something here?
But of course.
The only thing that keeps this thing from being utterly terrifying are those three goofy eyes just staring at us. Otherwise, this could perfectly have the rank and title of Ice Rave.
Okay, someone go get a Keyblade. It's a Heartless. What? It is! Look!
Also, look at its bones. It looks as if there's growing fur from it.
Well, yeah, that was mentioned. The creature leaps from the gangplank onto the deck and thrusts the tip of its icy rod at your face. Oh god, no.
What the hell? That's not professional! Let's be a little professional here. We're just trying to kill each other.
Yeah, stop waving your rod in my face. You parry its attack with the Summersword and a flash of hissing sparks explode when the two formidable weapons collide. This is so homoerotic. You're now battling a Seok.
Seok.
Yeah, and it is immune to your psychic attacks, so that left you at a combat skill of what? Wasn't it 46?
45.
45, okay. So, give an ear. You know the drill.
I will roll a die. Another die.
Another day, another die.
3.
Is it?
Right. The creature launches forward and smacks you in the face with its mighty rod. You launch on with your sword.
You knew this would happen, Cobra, but you had to read it. You had to read it because you are the game master. But we basically got an icy rod to the face.
Yeah.
And I do not like that.
Brings a new meaning to the phrase cold cocking.
Oh,
Can we proceed? Can we proceed?
In any case, you lash out with your own mighty blade and manage to slash the creature slightly. You take 5 damage from being beaten in the face with the rod.
I am not going to let you live this down, Cobra. Moving on. I have already added down the life we have lost.
Yeah, I assume you had.
Seriously, I feel like raining down some holy fire and brimstone on this guy.
Giveneer, would you mind rolling with that again?
Yeah, of course, 8.
8. Right. The creature howls from pain from your attack, and you use this moment of inaction to launch another attack, dealing a devastating blow to the beast. It launches out with an attack of its own, but you manage to avoid it. Almost. You get lightly tapped in the process. You lose 1 endurance point.
Well, ow. That was slightly inconvenient. So, when does it die?
Well, when it's out of life. That means you
well.
should roll a die again, give it here.